Well, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. It's been a while. So, welcome to Marriage Our Way. I haven't been here in, I think, in about 2 or 3 weeks. I have been very, very busy this month, you guys. I made it almost. I made it. Um, my husband's birthday was on the 6th. Father's Day was just on Sunday, and then our anniversary was yesterday. So June has been June, and Fred has been benefiting all month. He has been celebrating. He had a great birthday bash. Um, Father's Day, anniversary, we just kind of laid back and chilled and ate and went out to eat. And Father's Day, he relaxed around the house all day and got catered to. So it has been an eventful June. So we're happy to almost be done with that. So I'm happy to be back with you guys. Even though this week is a week, we got a lot of things going on, and um, we got to get to it. So I didn't want to let weeks and weeks and weeks go past, and you guys think that I have just okay. She done quit Marriage Our Way now. No, I have not. This is always gonna be a thing for me because number one, we need it. We need it, whether you believe it or not. Sometimes we just need to be talked to. Sometimes we need to know what it is to be married because a lot of us do not, and we're out here. We got a whole husband and a whole wife out here, and people don't even know it. So we gotta start moving like so, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start moving as a unit in these marriages because that's not what I'm seeing out here. And this is the reason why I'm even here talking with you guys because there are situations that occur a lot of times with being married or being in a relationship or whatever have you, situationship, dating, on the way to marriage, whatever. It's a lot. It is a lot. So let's talk about it. So, my message today, people, is how do you feel so far in your marriage? Exactly how do you feel so far in your marriage? Do you feel happy? Do you feel content? Do you feel overwhelmed? Or are you just about ready to bust out of this thing? Because this ain't for me. I mean, where are you in your marriage? How do you feel thus far? Whether it's the beginning, you have just gotten married, whether you're at your 5 year mark, whether you've made it to 8, because it get a little rocky, or are you at your 10 year, or are you where we are right now? I just came off my 29th year wedding anniversary. 29 years. I have been married to my husband. I have been with him a total of 32 years. We met in 1992. Soon as I stepped foot on Fort Valley State campus, he was one of the ones. He was on his way. Florida boy was coming. So I just want to tell you guys thank you for all the comments that were under my post, under my husband's post. Um, Thank you guys. Some of you guys know me and Fred from the beginning until now. And you've seen our journey throughout the years and the comments that we read. And I tried to read every last one of them. It made my heart smile because some of you know us so well and you know what we came from. So, not saying that it was craziness. It was just from the humble beginnings, college students, until now, where we are now. You know, we have definitely flourished, and I'm so grateful for it. But as well, I was there for some of the comments. Some of the comments had me cracking up. It was one particular comment that stuck with me, and it was a good friend of mine that said, "Girl, 29 years married to somebody is a long time, and 32 years together total. That's something right there." But the main thing is, in these videos, y'all are here acting like y'all really like each other. That is a plus. When I tell you, that had me laughing so hard because I understand what she was saying. Some people probably be like, "Well, what she mean? We acting? What you mean we acting like we like each other? We do. No, we do. But I understand because that person had been married for a while before, and it didn't quite work out for her. And in some instances, marriages don't work out. Okay. And when it don't work out, sometimes we have to, it's hard for us to get that trust back, if you will. So to see it's like a little, it weirds you out a little bit because people are really out here in a marriage and they're like best friends. Like y'all get along, y'all do goals together, y'all pray together, y'all. I mean, that's really happening out here because it's foreign to some people. I get it. It's foreign to some people because you got two different people, two different individuals merging their lives together, and sometimes it collides. Sometimes your past comes into your relationship and it blows up because you're bringing that mess from wherever you got it from, whether it was your upbringing, whether it was marriages and situations that didn't work out, or however you've treated somebody, you bringing that into your marriage. So, if you're lucky to get one and that person is your soulmate, that person cares about your well-being, etc., etc., it's a blessing. Now, do not think that it's perfect over here. It's hard days, it's good, it's a lot of good days, and it's some bad days sprinkled in there. We do get on each other's nerves sometimes, and we have to take a break. Like when I say take a break, is you get to your corner, I get to my corner, and we'll come back together and we, think about that thing. I thought about it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're willing to work on it, it works over here. Okay? So yeah, 29 years married, it's a long time. But guess what? I'm not the only one. I know some that are right behind us. There's somebody this week. One of the couples from Fort Valley as well. That's going on 29 years. We got married at the same time, I think just a week apart. So it's a lot of us out there that still exists. I know people think it's non-existent. I know that this it's hard to find this these days, but it's some of us still out here. So, and I'm glad that we can give y'all hope. I'm glad that we can give y'all hope. So, I want to give you a couple of scenarios on when I asked you, how do you feel in your marriage thus far? Remember, I asked you, were you happy? Were you content? Were you overwhelmed? Or are you just ready to bust out? So, some of the scenarios are, we got to go back to the drawing board. When you first met each other and everything was just, his stuff didn't stink. Her stuff didn't stink. Come on now. You were so in love that you couldn't see. Go back to the drawing board on that. How can we get back to that in our marriage? Treating each other right is one of the most important things in a marriage. You got to treat each other right, because if you're not treating each other right, you're going to find yourself in situations where one person is wandering out and not paying you no attention and don't halfway want to be around you, and you got to go looking for your husband, or you got to go looking for your wife because you ain't treating them right. So they over here trying to find ways not to be around you. Let's keep it a bug. So we got to do better with treating each other right. We got to, if you got a prize, treat your wife like a prize. If you got a king, treat your husband like a king. Therefore, you won't run into these issues. You won't run into these problems because I'm willing. I'm here. Let me, try to figure out how to make you happy. Not I'm going through hoops. Not I'm trying to pay for everything. Not I'm trying to no, genuinely I want to make you happy. I want you to be happy with me. And sometimes, let me tell you, ladies, it's not just the way you look. We have this thing of if we look good, our man will do anything for us. That's not true. Halle Berry is beautiful. She's been through a couple of marriages. Jennifer Lopez is beautiful, and she's been through a couple of marriages. Pretty ain't it. Just being pretty is not it. Oh, I'm an expensive woman. I'm a kept woman, and you got to have me. That ain't it. That mind, you got to stimulate the man's mind too. You got to be so cool as a person, somebody that he wants to just be around. Not this woman that's just nagging all the time, trying to tell you what to do. This is what we gonna do. That ain't cool. And men, that's for you too. I'm gonna tell you what to do. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. And that's just it. It's got to be some type of fairness in your relationship. It's got to be some type of fairness. Don't just do me any type of way. And then sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we miss the mark. We miss the mark sometimes when it comes to our husbands and our wives. Sometimes the man has an expectation of if they're going through this, that you should just know. You should just know to just pick up and be like, hey, you need this, hey, you need that, and you da, 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 da. They feel like you should just know sometimes. And sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you're just not thinking. Sometimes they got to look in their face, and you know what that look means. You ain't did something right. If they got that look on their face, that means you didn't do something right. And you got to figure out what that is. And it's like pulling teeth on trying to figure out what that is. So sometimes you do, as a person in a marriage, miss the mark. Sometimes we absolutely miss the mark. But I would say to you this: give each other grace, because sometimes we just don't know. Sometimes we just can't read in between the line. We're not doing these things intentionally. We just don't know right off, and we can't read in between the lines, maybe just that day. Sometimes we can get it right, and then sometimes we mess it up, but we're not doing it intentionally. So I would say, please give each other grace when that's happening, or when you feel that way. Give each other grace. Okay? This whole thing and stigma of, I heard a guy say to my husband, and it bothered me to my soul, because you're talking about two well kept people. And these are not people that are typically around us all the time, but two well kept people. When you see them, you just like, oh my God, they have it together. But then again, how you look does not mean anything, but they're well kept people. And the person said to my husband, I can tell that you and your wife, you guys love each other for real, for real. Me and my wife, we just tolerate each other. Huh? Yeah, we tolerate each other. So I feel like he was given basically like, I mean, we're like in a situationship. We just it works how it works. She's there, I'm there. We like each other when it comes to, but and we can coexist because we pay these bills and we got these children here and this is that. But this whole being out amongst the people with each other, it's not our thug thizzle. not our thing. I mean, we tolerate each other. It ain't what you think it is, put it like that. And it took me back. I mean, like, huh? Because I would think that, you guys got it together. So to me, it seems as if you have it together. But having it together sometimes don't mean that you have it together. What it looks like you have does not mean nothing. I mean, you can have millions of dollars. You can have the best house. You can have the best car. You can have it all. But even those people aren't happy because you would think, I mean, what we're taught is if you have enough money to make it look like a certain thing, then it will be that. And it's not. This thing is work. This thing is for real. It's like you really have to learn how to love each other because why are you there? I mean, if you're out and about and you're talking about me with your friends like that means you don't really care about me. I mean, you can say some things about me. I might have got on your nerves that day, but that's my boo. I love her. Not we just tolerate each other. If you got to talk about me like that, God forgive me. Please let me go on my way as I will let you go on your way because what are we even doing? What are we even doing? That's so hurtful. And if his girl knew that, she would probably be so hurt because I in my mind or in my spirit, I feel like she didn't feel that way. You're saying that you guys tolerate each other, but I feel like she's really, really and truly in love with you, but you're not really, really, truly in love with her. And that is just, you know, don't waste each other time. Don't use people because of what they seem like they have or what have you. Come on, man. Do better. And don't be a overbearing wife or a overbearing husband, meaning don't be that wife that if that man needs to go and step away and be with his friends for a day and just chill out or whatever, allow him to go and unwind without you feeling like, oh, he finna be with some and I ain't going for that. So let me just make sure I plan our day so he can't escape me because I don't trust him. I don't trust him, so I'm not gonna let him out of my sight. Or if he's going somewhere, I'm right behind you. I'm on your heels. I'm invited too. Let that man go and enjoy himself for that day or time or weekend or what have you. Vice versa. Let that woman go out with her friends and enjoy herself for that day or weekend so she can come back to you refreshed. That doesn't mean that she's out there trying to get with another man. And if she is, that means you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a husband. So let's talk about that. Or that means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a wife. Let's talk about that. If you feel like if he steps out that door just to get a breather for a second, that he's going to be out there with somebody else, in your mind, this is how you're feeling that he's going to be out there with somebody else. That means something ain't right in that pot in your house. Something ain't right. If he just can't step away for 5 seconds, or if she can't step away. Now I'm not saying 5 seconds, for whatever time it takes for you to go and be with your girls and have fun with your girls. You got a problem with that. That's work on not being overbearing. Work on that. Allow your spouse to go out and kick it with their friends for a day or a weekend and you being okay with that. Because if you don't, You don't know what that person is trying to slide and do from that point because I can't get out of his space or her space. They don't like it. So I got to sneak. You don't want to sneak. So allow that time because being around each other 24/7 a day ain't it. Just looking at each other and watching everything each other do is not it. Okay? So let that person get some unwind time sometimes. Okay? This whole do as I say, don't do as I do. Like I can do what I want to do, but you can't. I can go out and I can be amongst whoever I want to be amongst, and I'm gonna bring you around whoever I want to be amongst, and it looks disrespectful or whatever because I got you around my exes and all this and that. But in turn, you can't be around your exes, but I got you all up in my ex's face, but you can't be around none of your exes. Mm-mm. Come on, people, do better. This and being one-sided, this whole one-sided thing, I don't, you know you know that you're wrong, and if it was you, you would never do whatever it is when it comes to your mom, your sister, your brothers, your cousins, your friends, the stuff that you do for them or with them, you're wrong. But then when your wife or your husband try to do it, I ain't like that. Don't be one-sided. Cut the crap out in these relationships because it's causing a commotion and it's causing your loved one, your best friend, your partner in crime to be out here in the streets talking about you out of character, like they're being their authentic selves around these people that they feel like are friends but really are strangers because they don't really see you like that. So it's like, oh, I can't believe you said that, because when I see you with your significant other, that's not what you're giving when I see you with her. But when you're not with her, talking trash, and I don't like it. You ask God for this. You went before God with this. And if you wasn't ready because, or if you just did it because you felt like she was the one because she got the body, yaddy, 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 and when we get in that bed, it's what is given. But outside of that, I don't like her. Come on. Are we really marrying just for that? We haven't married for what we both bring to the table. Like when you really and truly got with that person, you didn't just think of, I'm sure people don't just get together just because of how somebody looks and what they do in bed. I'm sure that's not what we're doing out here. I'm hoping that that's not what we're doing, because that will not fly and it will not make it. And here we are with, we tolerate each other. Here we are. We just tolerate each other because we just, outside of that, what else is it? It's a whole lot more. Your spirits have to meet. Everything has to be in line. You literally and genuinely should love each other with everything you got. And when that person is not around you, you feel unbalanced. Or if you can't get that person's opinion on something, you feel unbalanced. If you're not feeling like that, I don't know what you're doing. It's got to be the total package, not just this one-sided thing, or this little small thing I like about this person in this box, and that's why I decided to make her my wife, that's why I decided to make him my husband. Because listen, I'll take that little small thing before I have nothing. Mm. And then when things go wrong, you're out of there, and you're back in your ex's arms because you don't know how to deal with issues when it comes to your significant other. You just know how to run. Do better. Do better. People always want to know our secrets. How is it that two young black people like you guys could stay with each other this long and be committed? Easy. We love each other. We've loved each other genuinely from the beginning. And it works for us. It's a lot of things that work for us. Oh, you might not see one with the other. What make her like him? Or what makes him like her? God knows, and we know. And we know what we like in each other. And that's all that matters. It's nobody else's business but ours. What we like in each other. We just do, and have been since 1992 when we met, and 1995 when we got married. It works. And we put the work in daily. And sometimes you just have to ask the question, are you happy? Is there something I could do? My husband asks me that all the time. Is it, am I checking off all the boxes for you? Is it something that I can do better? Oh my God, is that not amazing? Is that something I can do better? And I always tell him, you do an amazing job as a husband. Now, there are some ways that he has that I don't completely like. And there are some ways that I have about me that he don't completely like. But it's manageable. It's manageable. We have our ways, meaning, you know, when we say ways about you, sometimes you might be a little funny acting, Alexia. Sometimes, Fred, your attitude might be a little funky, but it's manageable. We can talk to each other about it, and we can adjust. Oh, I apologize. I didn't know if it was, I didn't realize that my attitude, or I was acting funny. I didn't realize. Oh, I apologize. I didn't know that my attitude was funky today. Or I did know it. I just couldn't get out of it at the time, but I'm okay now, and I worked through it. Because life be lifing. Every day is not a good day. We claim it to be, but every day is not a good day. That's why you have to pray and cover your marriage, because it's so much. I've told you guys, it's so much. Soon as you leave your threshold, it's so much stuff ready bouncing off you here and there. It's like you gotta cover yourselves before you leave the house, because it's so much stuff ready to come. It's so much stuff ready for you when you leave out that door. You have no idea what's coming after you. You don't know these spirits out here in these streets. You don't know these spirits and people that can jump on you, and you bring it back into your house, and present it to your significant other. What's wrong with you? You left out of here fine. Well, how you gonna come back on 100? What is that all about? Are you okay? Sometimes it happens, and you got to check it at the door, or you have to cover yourself before you leave here. I told you guys, me and Fred pray every single morning over our day and what we're expecting to happen for us. And not only are we praying for what we're expecting for us and our day and our children and our family. We're praying this for everybody that is connected to us because we don't want to see people go through. That's the saddest thing, to watch people you love go through it. So we have to pray and cover them as well because it's some things out there that's going to jump on them as well. But thank God we hold each other accountable for when we're wrong, when we're not going the right way or what have you. We hold each other accountable, and that's what you have to do. All right? So jot it down. Think about it. How are you feeling in your marriage thus far? And if you have something negative to say about it, work on it. Find a resolution to it, because I think it's worth it. If you've been in a marriage for a long enough time, I think it's worth it for you to work on it and work on yourselves. Whatever that means for you, whether it means going to counseling, whether it means to just talk to somebody, whether it means to get around like-minded people that you want, you know, you know how you want to be, but you be careful with who you choose to bring around you to better yourself. Okay? Because some of some people don't have your best interest. Okay? So be very, very careful of that. But thus far in your marriage, you should be at a point where you are genuinely and truly happy with your choices that you've made thus far, and getting to your goals in your marriage. Okay? That should be priority. You should be genuinely happy with where you are and your choices thus far. And if you're not, fix it. All right? Love you guys. Thank you for rocking with me since last September. In September this year, I'll be going on 1 year, 1 year with this thing. So, I might miss a week or two or however, but I'm always going to come back before you. And I thank you for um, rocking with me. Okay? Make sure you tell a friend. Marriage Our Way on YouTube. Go back and listen to the old ones and be blessed by it. Um, if you have something that you want me to talk about, please send it. Please send it so I can research it and I can get the message out to you. All right? And I pray that everybody's marriage is blessed. Blessed. And I pray and manifest that you guys will be together until the wheels fall off, baby. All right? Love you. You guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.